According to the 2024 census report, Karamoja region has a population of 1.6 million, of which most of these suffer severe malnutrition due to prolonged food insecurity in the region. The area reportedly has the highest number of stunted children, with over 41% of the children experiencing chronic malnutrition challenges. According to Esther Adong, the district's nutritionist focal person in Nakaperipit district, the state of nutrition there is still very poor despite government intervention. This, they say, is behind the acute malnutrition rates, especially among children and lactating mothers.
Last quarter, if we look at the moderately acute malnutrition children who were identified in the community and had a screening entry points. We had about 808 children identified with moderate acute malnutrition, and this is high.
Despite large chunks of land in the region, the rearing of animals is considered the most valuable activity, mostly done by energetic men, whereas women are left to produce food to cater for other family members. The little food produced is mostly sold, leaving the family stranded without anything to eat.
The parents actually, they end up selling the foods after the harvest. And at the end of it all, you find that the food is not there in the household.
The inconsistent seasonal rains in the area prevent the locals from cultivating a variety of food, concentrating sorghum for malnutrition.
However, I also appreciate that there has been some diversity, a promotion of diversity of crops. We've had some communities planting now Irish. We've had some communities planting vegetables, kumawiki and spinach.
In an effort to change the narrative, the Parliamentary Alliance Forum on Food and Nutrition with implementing partners is looking to sensitize the people on food production. John Engon is one of those who have adopted the practice of producing variety crops to cater for his family and improve their nutrition challenges.
I started with tomatoes. I learned how to make this ball, but what I get it from here, it can make me happy. I'm not going somewhere to buy greens. Even I planted eggplant. The eggplant now, my children are eating. That's why you are seeing me. I'm not struggling anywhere. I've planted maize.
According to Engon, before the intervention of Action Against Hunger, he used to hunger out most of his time, leaving everything in his family to be catered for by his two wives.
Life was difficult. Me, in the morning, I just go under the tree. I sit there. The woman is struggling, carrying firewood to the market to sell.
However, after the intervention of Action Against Hunger, he was sensitized on different agronomic practices where he started to engage himself in crop production. Now he's reaping the fruits.
I planted last year tomatoes. When I sell tomatoes, the little I got to 150. I used to support my family. I'm too happy. The whole heart is like this because I'm seeing now some few months.
Peter Ehelu, head of advocacy at Action Against Hunger, says that Karamoja as a region can stand on its own and produce its own food, given chance to sensitize and change the mindset of the people in the region towards crop production.
Because of the climate challenges that the region practices. So when you're able to produce using good agronomic practices, we are able to produce on over 60 acres of food.
As an effort to change the narrative, Action Against Hunger took an initiative to support the communities in the districts of Nakaperipit, Nabiratuk and Moroto to acquire land and started growing crops on their own, which is promising to yield results.
We think that interventions like this in Karamoja will help reduce the stunting and malnutrition levels in this region and as well affect the overall national malnutrition rates.
They hope that by the time these adopt this system, the Karamoja region will be able to produce food and start to feed their population and sell off some to improve their income.
One, it will ensure that there's food security for the manyatas around, and then secondly, that they will have a bit of balance to sell to the market. And so that means they are able to also get alternative dietary sources through the money that they get from sale of some of the outputs here.
They are discouraging the tendency of the Karamojong from selling all the food without leaving anything to sustain them during the dry season.
And also, if every household would be having a garden like this and they do not sell I think we shall fight malnutrition.
They are also appealing to government to intensify the provision of irrigation systems at a lower cost to deal with the weather vagaries in the area that affect crop production.
You find that for some seasons when the rains are totally off, they really need irrigation schemes. They must get, in our view, a unique arrangement through which they are able to acquire these mini irrigation schemes. But as it currently stands, the requirement for their contribution is on a very higher side.
The legislators also want the region to set up a policy to allow the government, regional food stores, to reduce food insecurity in the region.
Issues of handouts can only be dealt away with by promoting food reserves that after harvesting, when you have had a bumper harvest, can you keep a fraction of your harvest for future consumption? For example, it's raining. Can we as leaders preach farming? Can we encourage people to live in trading centers, to go and cultivate, to go and till the ground?